What's up, YouTube? I am back with another Hot Topics in the Tub. I am wearing a very old bathing suit, super duper old. I'm going to do a little 360 for you in a crazy rush, but I'm all about giving you guys content. I'm all about putting out videos for you guys. And I'm going to talk a little bit about coping skills today. I am going to also be doing an updated video. So recently, since my last 9,000 calorie and try-on haul, which I got to get some more bathing suits, I've had people asking me about like what I'm doing now. So I have leaned out a little bit, and I feel really good. My stomach feels really good. I don't feel like I have to wear the waist trainer all day long. So I'm going to do an updated video to that. So we've cut my calories. I haven't lost that much weight, so I'm very excited about that. But keep an eye out for that video. It's going to be another, I think we're about 6,500 calories. So I did 6,000. I never did 8,000, 8,500, 9,000, which was really like 94. Now I'm probably back to about 65. So I'm going to do an updated version of that. Also, no more Five Guys. So I will see you guys in the tub. Oh, let me give you the 360. So see, this one's so old that it's technically full butt, but let's just make it like a borderline G-string. Okay. It's kind of whack in the back. It's kind of whack in the back. Okay, so first off, I have to say thank you for Nick, I believe it was, that made the suggestion that I do this, because this is forcing me to get in here every Tuesday after leg day, which is really great for my back, which actually feels pretty damn good. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about coping skills, and I'm also going to talk about, I have a lot of medical issues, and I don't know if people realize like how many different medical issues I have, medical conditions, if they haven't read my story, and I don't know if it's updated with my back. And I'm going to talk about why I feel like I recover as quickly as I do, which, if you remember from the last video, I talk about mindset a lot, and I truly believe that my mental game is my superpower. That my mental game is my superpower. So what's your superpower? My superpower is mental strength. Okay, so coping skills. So as I talked about in the last video, I talked about how I don't believe in sweet cravings. I believe that you're craving something emotionally. So I believe that you have to come up with coping skills, okay? I believe in the element of distraction. Music to me is a huge distraction for me, a good distraction. And I talked about this a really long time ago just on Instagram. So like, let's just say if I'm really super stressed out, what I try to do is I try to calm myself down, the element of distraction, by listening to music, getting myself in a good mood, all that other stuff. I might put it on as I'm trying to deal with the problem that I have, or I might just put it on to kind of like cleanse my mind, okay? Then what I do, and I say this all the time, yes, it might be the element of distraction where it helps you distract you from the stress that you have, but you must go back and you must deal with the problem, but it helps you clear your mind so that you cannot feel. So this also helps people that suffer from anxiety, like panic attacks. You have to find something that calms you down. It doesn't necessarily have to be like hip hop or Afro dance or anything like that. It could be very calming music, and it could be something totally different. Maybe there's something else, okay? So the element of distraction is super important, and then finding out what it is you're really trying to cover up, and then dealing with the stress at hand, okay? And dealing with the problem and whatever it is that you're going through. I believe in making lists. I'm a huge fan. I should have stock in Post-its because I am constantly using Post-its. They are all over the place. I have reminders on my phone that go off all the time. So I teach people about like the whole feeling overwhelmed and time management. And I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I like coping with whatever problems that you're having, like stress and anxiety. The way you can eliminate that, besides the element of distraction, is to come up with prioritizing things, okay? Having lists in which you can knock things off and then you can push on to the next day. having reminders on your phone. So if you've been following me long enough, you know that literally I have been waking up at 3 o'clock, no later than 4. I let myself sleep a little bit on the weekends since January 4th of 2010. Okay, so I have things that I've been doing for 12 years. Like ever since I made a Facebook group for my clients, every morning I post a motivational video. I have a reminder on my phone. For 12 years I've been doing it. I have a reminder on my phone that reminds me to do it, because what if I'm set to do it at 5:15 and Amir wakes up? And now I'm thrown for a loop, right? I got to go take care of him. He wakes up, and then boom, now it's 5:30, and now it's about time for me to go and make his lunch and get myself set to get on the bike so I can start doing my cardio. So my reminder will go off, and I will snooze it until I do it. So this is why I talk about the 4 agreements and being impeccable to your word, and I pride myself on being impeccable to my word. And if I say I'm going to do something, which I will never say I'm going to do something unless I'm absolutely certain I can do it. I even tell my kids that. Like, I can't say Mommy's going to be able to do that unless I know I can. I don't want to make you any promises. I don't want to disappoint you, all that other stuff. So now I'm really going off on a tangent, but so coping skills, okay? So it's about coming up with something that's going to help you personally. Like, I know what my coping skills are, okay? You might do better with reading for a second. You might do better with literally just going for a walk. You might do good with sitting in a tub, taking an Epsom salt bath, listening to symphony, whatever it is. So that is how you try to quiet your mind, and then coming up with a solution to help you, okay? So coping skills for food, okay? Food and negativity are the 2 things that I really feel like are the huge factors here. So you don't go from having a nervous breakdown, not knowing what you want to do with your life, feeling like you need to please everybody, which was me 22 years ago. I had one person, I wanted to be a personal trainer. I had one person say, oh my God, that's amazing. And another person say I'd be embarrassed to admit that, you know, I'm associated, let's just say, because it was a boyfriend, my father, whatever. So not knowing what do you do, which I will tell you, if you take anything away from this, you cannot please anybody, everybody. So whatever you want to do, like, look yourself in the mirror and whatever makes you happy. Not society, not a parent, not a sibling, not a boyfriend, not a girlfriend, not a husband, not a wife, not anybody. Whatever makes you happy deep in your gut, because you will never be able to please anyone. And I'm also a realist, okay? So at the end of the day, when that person might not always be in your life, whoever it is. So you have to, you're the one that's laying on your pillow. You're the one that has to quiet the noises in your head when you're trying to sleep. And if you're unhappy and you're doing things to please all these different people, you're going to literally have a nervous breakdown like I did when I was 23 years old, and I'm going to be 45, okay? So, negativity. So one of the things after I had a nervous breakdown, when I realized what was going on in my life, and a lot of the people helped me, and somebody asked me, what made you into the kind of coach that you are? So I did Instagram, and that was one of the comments, okay? So I developed lots of different ways of coaching from the ways that I was dealt with when I was in the hospital, okay? You don't go from being a negative person, which I was, a negative person, to all of a sudden this, always finding the positive in everything, always helping people find the positive, calling people out on negativity. So what I do is, and that's also the reason why I don't take a vacation, because when I was in the hospital, it was only for 7 days, but I still had access to somebody, some kind of support system for all 7 days. So I know that people's minds don't take a vacation from, you know, the food addiction and all that other stuff. So I'm not going to take a vacation from supporting my clients, which I've committed. I'm a woman of my word. I have committed to being there for my clients. I will take vacations from training people in person, from training people on Zoom, but I will never take a vacation from emails, because number one, it gets me up in the morning. Number two, then it gets me to do my cardio and start my day. And number three, motivating others motivates me. Okay, so one of the things that I was taught is about affirmations. And people ask me all the time, what do you mean by affirmations? Giving yourself compliments. I believe that they need to be something that you want to believe, and then things that you physically see. I believe that you need to make eye contact with yourself in the mirror as much as you can. I will tell you from personal experience, I have felt like I was going to throw up. I have physically felt ill. I have cried looking at myself in the mirror. I was told my whole life that I was stupid and I was never going to amount to anything. So unfortunately, The Secret says, in the law of attraction, it says, you gotta watch the way that you word things, right? So it says, never say, I gotta get out of debt, because you're actually attracting more debt. Unfortunately, I did read The Secret, but I read it after a few years, and I was saying, I am not stupid. I should have been saying, I am smart. So it took me a really long time to really believe that. So I took that to another level. So besides doing 3 affirmations in the morning and 3 in the evening, making eye contact in the mirror, nobody can tell me they don't have time for affirmations, because I'm assuming everybody brushes your teeth. You won't leave your house without brushing your teeth, right? I made a video like 10 years ago, brush your teeth because your mood stinks. That's what your affirmations are. So then I took it to another level. So literally, and I'll give you an example. I was in New York Sports Club. That was one of the first gyms, the first gym that I worked at. First at the front desk and then became a trainer. And I remember I'm training a client and some guy was watching me, and I started thinking he's watching me because he thinks that I don't know what I'm doing, and like, do I know what I'm doing? And like, maybe he thinks that I'm gonna, whatever. Just all this negative stuff started popping into my head. And then I literally said, cut, Jen. And I kind of walked over to the mirror. I made eye contact with myself while my client was in between her set. And I said to myself, and like in the mirror, looking a little crazy, I made it like I was checking my hair or whatever, or if I had something in my eye. And I said, he's probably looking at you because he wants to steal the exercise. Or maybe he thinks you're in great shape. Or maybe he wants to hire you, but he doesn't know how to ask it, so he's waiting for you to make eye contact. So that's also one of the 4 agreements. Never make assumptions, right? So literally, if you follow the 4 agreements, the quality of life will be dramatically different, okay? So I would literally negate every 1 negative comment that I made to myself. I had to negate with 3 positive ones. So I encourage you to do that. We are horrible to ourselves. Some of you watching this might speak to yourself in a way that you would never allow anybody else to speak to you. Why? Why do you accept that? I want you to stop that. Like, I want you to make a commitment to yourself that anytime you make a negative comment to yourself, you have to negate it with 3 positive ones. So, coping skills and negativity. Come up with your thing. What works for you? What is going to help you calm yourself down and then deal with the problem? Is it music? Is it YouTube videos? Is it motivational stuff in the background? Is it Les Brown, David Goggins, Tony Robbins? Like, what is it that's going to get you to just relax and then come up with a solution, okay? Because that's really the only way. When you're erratic and all over the place, you're never going to be able to come up with a solution to solve the problem that you have. And I will tell you this, food is not the answer, okay? You now have 2 problems. So if you're stressed about work and your boss and the way that they talk to you and they treat you like crap and and then you go and eat bad food, now you have a stomach ache, you probably have diarrhea, if you're on any kind of fitness goal, you're now a step back from it, and you still have the same problem with your boss. Like, what, are you punishing him by eating bad food? No. So you have to really try to focus on what the problem at hand is, and again, clear your mind before you could really focus on it. I did a post today on Instagram, which is going to be days after this, before this comes out, and I gave the definition of nutrition, okay? The definition of food and what food is. And I said in there, which maybe I'll write it because I forgot what it actually said, the verbatim, but I said, nowhere in the definition of food does it say that food is absorbed for love, for comfort. So we have to really try to recognize where we're going when we turn to food, what we're really trying to mask, and again, what problem we're really trying to solve that is not being solved. So if you take anything away from it, maybe go back, listen to it again. Some bullet points about negativity and the 4 agreements and coping skills and the element of distraction. So I know this one was not very long, but as I mentioned in the beginning, I gotta go pick up my kids, so I gotta quickly wash myself off, get dressed, and then pick up my kids from school. So, I hope you like this. Please, leave your comments, let me know. I do get a lot of people that leave comments and let me know what topics they like, and then Instagram leaves good ones. And again, I kind of talked about what the one person, well, there was a lot of comments, but what the one person said, like, what made you the kind of coach that you are. And, you know, it really started with when I became at peace with what I was really doing in the past and started living my life for myself, which is probably the best advice I can. There's a lot of gems in this video, so I really hope that you take some stuff away from it. But that's what's made me the coach that I am, in reference to some of the tactics I use and the way I talk to people. One thing that I did learn also in the hospital is PCP, praise, correct, praise. So if a client sends me an email and it's a holy hot mess of a day, I will never, ever, ever. I send them a voice note when they first join my program before they even send their first check-in. It's called Judgment Free Zone. So I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to almost like get into a car accident because I'm driving to 7-Eleven to go buy bad food, to be in hyper-focus. I get that. So I teach people about how you should never feel embarrassed. Never. And I will never be disappointed in anybody as long as you're honest with me and as long as you don't quit. That's the most disappointing thing ever, is somebody that quits and says that this is too hard, because I pride myself on being the kind of coach that has literally coached surgeons, 80-year-olds, 13-year-olds, single moms with 4 kids, pregnant women, like everything. Fused spines, double knee replacement. I can make it work for anybody. So if somebody doesn't think that they're capable of it, that to me is the most disappointing, because I'll find a way for anybody. So getting back to the whole PCP, praise, correct, praise. So my first comment is going to be, I'm so proud of you for being honest with me. And then I critique, and then I go back to praising. And then this way, and I encourage you to deal with your relationships in that way. Let's just say you're married and your significant other pisses you off because they constantly leave their socks right on the outside of the hamper. You're going to come at them and say, God damn it, can you please put the freaking socks inside the hamper? They're going to feel attacked. They're going to feel like, you know, and they're not going to react the right way, okay? Then it's going to start a whole argument. But babe, listen, I love you. I love the way you do the dishes. I love the way that if they do the dishes. But can you please do me a favor? Please put the socks inside. But again, I love you. I appreciate all the other things you do. But I need you to do that for me, please. You're going to get a way better response. So I'll leave you with that gem. Praise, correct, praise. I love you guys. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you on the next episode.